Those 2 hours were like a storm. First, we tried a boutique that I normally never go to. Then we tried our hand at bowling while I taught her the rules. And that alone's probably like an hour, right? I mean, maybe 30 minutes if you're fast, but if she doesn't know the rules. I couldn't find the aquarium. See, no Google Maps. But we fed birds at the park. We visited an interesting antique shop that ended up being a lot of fun, and I maintain that not going to the movie theater was the right choice. Anyway, I spent the whole time taking her places I figured a girl might like, and it was 2 hours of failure and defeats. However, I tried to spin it. The day wasn't really shaping up to be a date. No, it was a date. It just bombed. It felt more like a battle to the death in which the first person to give up loses. Whenever I took Saber, she acted exactly like she always has done. Once in a while, she would fall so quiet, I would start to worry if she was truly angry. Well, okay, hold on a moment. Like, I get it, it's a date, like, oh, it's gonna be romantic and stuff, but if you like her, and you've enjoyed spending time with her, is it bad if she's acting how she normally acts? And I guess within, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Her lack of reaction made it clear she was not having fun, which pushed me to try even harder each time. Have we considered maybe she's just stoic? Maybe she follows the teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure that was a popular book in her time. And so I ran all around the city, desperate to make Saber smile. But noon came before I actually accomplished anything. And with Saber's reminder that it's lunchtime, I decided to take a short break. However, what is this place? I can't help but blurt it out as we sit down. I suggest going to the coffee shop near the river for lunch. That was the only advice Tasaka gave me last night. So I did as she suggested and picked this restaurant. But I never imagined it would be so pretentious. I take a look at the menu. Luckily, the menu has Japanese translations next to all its foreign text, so I can at least figure out what all the dishes are. The problem is that I've never even heard of any of these dishes, and the prices are outrageous. Yeah, that's actually an interesting sort of question of like, should like an ethnic restaurant should it translate or transliterate its dishes? Right? So like if I go to a Mexican restaurant, should I be ordering the pollo or should I be ordering the chicken? Right? Because ordering the pollo would be the transliteration of like, oh, it's the same sounds, just we've made sure it works in your alphabet. Translation of like, we've translated the meaning of the text. I don't know, I feel like translation is more useful. But if part of the reason you're going to like the ethnic restaurant is for the experience and the kind of otherness of like going into this, foreign little pocket of foreign culture, then I guess keeping the names the same and not translating what they literally mean can help with that immersion. And that's a lot of what you're paying for at a restaurant, not just strictly the food, but the experience and the ambiance. I suppose there's pros and cons, as with most things in life. Anyways, so the prices are outrageous, by the way. Where are we? On Mars or something? I have no idea what to order. I stare at the menu and growl. And also, I guess some dishes probably don't have like a literal translation. Right? Like if I were to, like hamburger, for example, which I know hamburger is from the Hamburg steak, which is German in origin, but the hamburger as we know it is, I'm pretty sure, unambiguously like an American invention of like Hamburg steak and on a bun with toppings and stuff. Like there is no literal meaning of hamburger. Right? It's not like the name translates in English means like ground beef patty on buns. It's named after Hamburg, Germany, which is where the patty originates from. So there is no literal translation of that, really. Shiro, I thought we came here to eat lunch. Ren suggested a pretentious restaurant. What a surprise. Yep, that's fair. That's fair. Saber looks and sounds a little concerned. Yeah, but this is really not what I expected. I'm assuming this is probably a French restaurant. I have no basis for this other than, like, French restaurants are, like, historically, like the stereotypical, like, ooh, it's a la-di-da fancy place. Not to mention, actually, French restaurants, I think, have a disproportionate number of Michelin stars because the Michelin Tire Company, which, fun fact, if you didn't know this, Michelin stars, the restaurant rating, is run by the same company that does the Michelin tires. It's a whole thing because it was initially a French travel guide. Anyways, the company is French, so they have a little bit of a bias in terms of, A, giving a lot of Michelin stars to restaurants in France, but B, when they're giving Michelin stars to restaurants not in France, a lot of them are French restaurants. So. Yeah. And also the decor here looks European, so which I look up. And what I see is Saber looking like a cornered rabbit. Saber? If you're uneasy, we can head back to the mansion. I actually prefer the food you prepare, Shiro. Well, I mean, you haven't had the food here yet, so you can't really say that. That's a fair point, Adam. That's food back in Saber's day would have been, you know, in general, maybe not necessarily of less quality, but they were more concerned with just baseline, this is calories for my body, than like, ooh, I've got spices and little fruits and stuff that originate from all over the world, right? Because that's the big differentiator between modern cooking and cooking back in, you know, ye olden times is these days the geography of where the ingredients come from basically doesn't matter. Whereas back in the day, I mean, you were very limited in what's, especially in terms of like produce and meat, had to be basically locally sourced, right? You can maybe import some spices from, you know, the other side of the continent, but you know, if you don't grow, if you want to use spinach, but there's not anywhere that grows spinach for in your kingdom, then well, you're out of luck at that point, more or less. Though it's worth noting, if Saber being the king of England, king of England, would have been, or king of the Britons, my apologies, would have been obviously higher. Head of the social hierarchy, top of the pyramid, would have been getting the best quality food available at the time. Does that mean you want to go home? No, it's not that I want to go back, but I have been nervous all day, and I'm more tired than usual. Really? Oh, I thought I'd gone back after we had lunch and a bit of a break. But if you're tired, maybe we should take a longer break here. No, that is not what I mean. Tired is not quite the right word. It is more like, well... No, Adam, I think you've got it wrong. I think you got it backwards. I thought it was the... Like, I thought So, the Anglo-Saxons immigrated to Britain, but I thought King Arthur was the king of the Britons, and the Britons were the ones who were fighting the Anglo-Saxons that were trying to invade. I could be mistaken, but I thought that was the distinction. And that's why it wouldn't have been the English at the time. Right? Because England basically literally means, like, land of the Angles. Angle land. Anyways, Saber startups. Fortunately, I'm the only one who hears the faint squeak from her stomach. Oh, she could have just told me she was hungry. I'm sorry, what I'm trying to say is that I would appreciate if we could eat lunch as soon as possible. Got it. Yeah, it may not be interesting, but let's order whatever looks okay here so we can get our food quickly. It should be easy if a light snack is all we need. I ordered 2 things that seem like lunch dishes, and we quickly eat. While I'm drinking my after-meal coffee, I start thinking out what to do in the afternoon. What I learned this morning is that physical stuff like bowling is no good. Saber is extremely competitive. That in itself is good, but Saber's looks already draw enough attention, and when she gets like that, well, she stands out even more. What, you jealous of like other people noticing you're a woman? Come on, Sherry, you gotta have more confidence in yourself, alright? Just because other people are noticing Saber doesn't mean that they're gonna like steal her from you or something. After we finished the game, Saber got sulky because of all the attention she drew. Ah, I see. Saber's an introvert. Gotcha. So, we're going to avoid physical activities. Hey, Saber, I'm going to ask you again. Is there anywhere you want to go? Me? Nowhere in particular. I do not know my way around, so I will keep following you. Saber lifts her teacup as she speaks. She ordered black tea to have after her meal, and it seems she enjoys its flavor. I hardly serve black tea at home, and even if I did, it'd just be a cheap tea bags. Saber must not have been satisfied with the drinks I've been serving at home, since it looks like she prefers black tea. Well, I should be more mindful about that starting tonight. Saber isn't doing much, she's just drinking her tea. She doesn't seem particularly happy, but she doesn't exactly look bored either. I guess she's just being Saber. As sunlight pours in through the window, Saber sits up straight, gracefully sipping from her teacup. It's the first time I've seen her do this, but it seems so natural. It's like I've seen it a million times before. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Saber, at least as I know her, is always serious, only focused on wielding her sword or fighting. Oh, I get it. It's only natural. I only think of her as the girl who takes up her sword. The moment she sets her sword aside, Saber is always calm and gentle. This scene doesn't feel new or unnatural to me because it's just her being who she is. No matter how skilled a swordsman she is, this is Saber just being normal. Or wielding her sword isn't what makes her exceptional. I once thought, while I was dreaming, that she was suited for fighting. I don't think I'm wrong there. No matter how great her sword skills are, no matter how many battlefields she's been on. As long as she was really herself, she couldn't have found the battlefield a comfortable place to be. That's why this is how it's supposed to be. Saber's not wielding a sword. She's just resting and unwinding. She belongs in this serene setting. Nothing changes in the afternoon. I take her to every shop I can think of, and Saber follows quietly. At least it's not as awkward as early in the morning. Either I'm getting used to the situation, or Saber's given up. She's still quiet, but the more I watch her, the more I notice she looks either angry or not angry, which is really confusing. Whenever I see Saber coming out of a store looking excited, I feel a sense of accomplishment. It really makes me happy. Then, after a careful consideration of what Saber might like... Oh, wow. Those are some big plushes, I think. Obviously, we don't really... Yeah, I mean, yeah, they look pretty big. I'm not certain, but I determined this as the shop most likely to please Saber. Saber stands in front of the store, mouth agape. I'm not sure if her shoulders are trembling because she's angry or excited. I just can't tell. Shiro, where are we? I hear this is the biggest stuffed animal shop in town. I've never been here since men aren't allowed. Oh. Is that legal? Obviously it's not that men aren't allowed in the store. It's just that most of the customer base are girls, so there's this unspoken rule about men not going inside. The good old, we're not technically discriminating against you, we're just, practically discriminating against you. Gotcha. Anyways, besides, there are only girls in the store right now. Saber with her beautiful blonde hair is drawing attention while I'm drawing glares for being a guy. It's sort of like one of those things where it's like, a lot of companies have like, what are they called? Like affinity groups or something? Or it's like, I don't know, like associations that like you can join amongst other employees. Other, not necessarily other employees that fit in like certain things. So they'll be like, oh, here's the affinity group for people with families. And the one for, I've seen them based on like race and sex and whatnot. But it's always funny because I think usually like the technical policy is like, well, yeah, I mean, technically anyone can join any of the groups, but like, I mean, come on, don't be that guy who's like some white dude that joins the black affinity group. Like, come on, man. So it's like that, I guess, or vice versa, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, Saber with her beautiful blonde hair is drawing attention while I'm drawing glares for being a guy. Hey, if you're on a date, it's fair game, right? Yeah. And having a girlfriend is like the ultimate pass to like just go anywhere you want. Not quite how I meant that, but they must all be trying to keep me out of their sanctuary. And I can't agree more. Even I don't think guys should be in a store like this. Psh. Well, we've come all the way here, so don't hold back. Let's take a look around. Do you have a favorite animal, Saber? Well, I suppose I find lions and leopards to be quite lovely. Do you find that strange? No. They're very revered during your time, for sure. The only weird thing, though, is, like, odds are probably actually pretty low that she ever, like, saw a lion in her actual life, I would imagine. Right? Because then that's, like, the whole meme of, like, ooh, look at this, like, medieval artwork of a lion that looks terrible, because the artist has obviously never seen a lion before. But, yeah. No, they appear in, like, many, like, coats of arms and whatnot. They're obviously quite revered animals for their power and the like, and the nobility of the great lion. I found myself turning away and fighting not to laugh. Shiro! Why are you being so mean? She's like, being honest with you, talking about the animals she likes, and you're gonna laugh at her? Look, I'm not saying they should break up, but girls, find yourself a man that respects your choice of stuffed animal preference. Unlike this Shiro fella. I'm not sure why Saber liking lions is strange. Shiro, your reaction does not seem right. It fills me with an inexplicable sense of rage. Or is it my imagination? No, sorry, I couldn't help but laugh. A line is just so perfect for you. But it is not right to laugh at someone else's preferences, Shiro. And there's nothing wrong with lines. And I said I'm sorry. Make it up for you. I'll take you somewhere good, so don't get mad. To make... Dude, that was the plan already. You can't make it up to someone by just doing what you're already planning on doing regardless. That's like if you were like, I don't know, a child, we'll say, and you wrong your parents in some way and say, oh, don't worry, Mom and Dad, to make it up for you, I'll do my chores. It's like, no. That's not recompense. Recompense is not doing what you were already gonna do. You have to do. I'm not even saying you have to make recompense necessarily, but if you're going to say you're making recompense, you gotta actually do something that wasn't already on the docket. I try to fight down my laughter and walk into the store. Let's see. Looks like animals, stuffed toys are over there. And it takes about an hour to get from one end of the store to the other. How big is it? Like an hour. And normal walking speed is what? Like, you're probably walking a mile in like... Or maybe it's because... Okay. I'm gonna hope it's because Saber's like getting all excited. Look at all the animals and stuff. And not literally taking that long to walk. Because like you can walk a mile in like 15 minutes. And I doubt the store is 4 miles long. I watch in silence as Saber stares at the stuffed animals, while I worry about the dozen or so sets of prying eyes staring at me from around the store. I've never been so exhausted in my life as I am today. Not even when you were like, I don't know, fighting Heracles or something. But that doesn't compare to this. Okay. The terrifying thing is that we've only made it through half of the store. Saber frequently is paralyzed. That is, she often stops and stares at a stuffed animal. Even after all this time, we're only halfway through the store. Saber seems very interested in the other half of the store, so I guess I'll just hang around while she does what she wants here. Shiro, why are you sighing? Are you tired from walking so much? Yeah, I'm just a little tired. I usually don't get tired so easily, but today is special. I guess I should be careful at doing things I'm not used to doing. I heave a sigh. I don't mind people staring at us when we're just walking around, but I'm uncomfortable with it when we're in this girly shop. When you're mentally drained, the first part of your body that feels it is your legs. See, I would have thought, I don't know, maybe for your head, but what do I know? What about you, Saber? This must be your first time in a store like this. Let me know if you get tired. Yes, I'm a little uncomfortable, but you look far more so. Not only here, but you do not seem more comfortable in the previous shop, or the one before that. Oh, it's just such a funny plot beat to me of like, I get what they're going for here, but these characters that have gone through like a whole lot of extremely like demanding situations physically that should have tired them out, and it's like, nah. All those life and death struggles and fights where we were like on the brink of death, that was nothing compared to going shopping with your girlfriend. That is what's gonna really exhaust you. And the funny thing is, too, I don't think it's entirely wrong, honestly. It's not the same sort of tired, but a certain exhaustion, a certain pressure to get it just right. I guess I can relate. Hope you're not selecting places you do not wish to go. Suddenly, those words dispel all the worries and mental exhaustion I felt earlier. Yeah, honestly, I might have chosen a bunch of places I wouldn't normally go. I know it. That is ridiculous, Shadow. You're aware of your own dislikes, so why would you purposely go there? You will... It's the sort of place girls like, right? I was one who made you come out with me, and it's your day! Besides, it's not so bad, since you're with me. I'm with a beautiful girl, so I don't look completely out of place. All the stares directed at me aside. That is absurd. I may not be armed, but I'm still a servant. Even if I am not fighting, you need to not treat me like a woman. You must treat me as a servant like always. Why not both? You're the one being absurd. You are a girl. I'm not trying to treat you differently today. Unless you feel like I am. She's bewildered. Saber's mouth hangs open, as if she's only just now realizing this. No, you are the same. You're acting the same as you always do. See? No need to worry about me. So, let's keep going. If we're going to buy your favorite thing in here, we still have to see the other half of the store. I take Saber's hand. She offers no objection as I tug her along. Oh, that's right. It's always been like this. I do not know why I'm realizing it this now. She murmurs to herself, sounding dazed. Oh no, did we ruin the mode somehow? The uncomfortable day passes by in a flurry. Saber never laughs, not once during the whole day, so neither do I. No part of the day was particularly memorable, but neither was there any painfully boring aspect. Basically, nothing significant happened. The way it went, maybe Saber would have been happier if we'd stayed in the dojo and trained together. But today wasn't all that bad either. Even if it didn't end up being all that exciting, I should be proud that I at least managed to take Saber around. After the war's over and once everything goes back to normal, I don't want to look back on all this and realize that all the time I spent with Saber was in combat. Even if this entire date was stupid, she needs to spend some time doing something other than fighting, where there's no point in her being here. So yeah, I should be proud of myself. The end is near. When everything is done, and when there's no need to fight anymore. If Saber can look back on this moment, that's enough for me.